It's been more than 3 months since Congresswoman Gabby Giffords and 18 other people were gunned down in a Tucson shopping center parking lot. In only 15 seconds, the shooter was able to fire 31 times. 6 of the victims were killed, including a 9-year-old girl, a federal judge, and congressional staffer Gabe Zimmerman. Today, Zimmerman's fiancee, Kelly O'Brien, went to Capitol Hill, pushing Congress and the White House to support a pair of amendments to the Brady Law. They would ban anyone from buying, selling, or transferring large-capacity ammunition magazines like the kind used in Tucson, anything over 10 rounds. Kelly O'Brien is joining with the Brady campaign, which has unveiled a dramatic new television ad.
A magazine that allows a gun to fire 32 shots in 16 seconds is only good for one thing: killing a lot of people fast. And that's something we can live without. Assault clips. They make everyone a target.
Joining me now, Kelly O'Brien and New York Democratic Congresswoman Carolyn McCarthy, who, along with Democratic Senator Frank Lautenberg of New Jersey, is sponsoring the legislation to restrict the high-capacity magazines. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Ms. O'Brien, our deepest sympathies, obviously, for your loss.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Kelly, I wanted to know what motivated you to get involved in this. It obviously must have been a terrible trauma you're continuing to work through. What prompted you to get involved with this?
I just felt that this was an issue that could have a lot of impact with very little effort to go into it. Just a vote, just ban it, and I think it would make a big difference, and a lot of lives could be saved.
Congresswoman, your bill and Senator Lautenberg's were introduced just days after the shooting. And I want to read you a quote from a story in yesterday's Washington Post talking about President Obama's point man on gun policy, a guy by the name of Steve Crowley. One area in which Crowley has shown less interest, according to several people who have spoken with him about the issue, is restricting the large volume ammunition magazines that allowed the Tucson shooter to keep firing. When Paul Helmke, director of the Brady campaign to prevent gun violence, broached the subject during the March 15th gathering with Crowley, officials promptly adjourned the meeting. And when President Obama wrote an op-ed last month on gun control, he made no mention of high-capacity ammo. I wonder if you feel like the White House is completely MIA on this issue.
No, I will continue to work with the White House, mainly because I think it's up to me and certainly people like Kelly that has just experienced this terrible tragedy to get those voices in America to stand behind us. That's what we're basically doing. You have to remember we have 107 co-sponsors right now. And if you think back on legislation in the past, sometimes it took a year, sometimes 2 years to get a piece of legislation done. So we are following the plan that we had right from the beginning, grassroots, and also me working member to member to get people to sign on to the bill. So I think that we're actually ahead of schedule when you look at 107 members have signed on in 3 months. I understand where the president's coming, and I'm also very happy that the president, for the first time in decades, is talking about reducing gun violence. So we need to have this dialogue. We need to work together, and I was certainly appreciative that he brought all the gun advocacy groups together, and I'm sorry that the NRA did not go to any of the meetings so that we could try and change this conversation and save American people. That's the bottom line.
Kelly, given how awful the shooting in Tucson was and just the tremendous outpouring of emotion from the nation, from the people of Tucson and Arizona, and we were all watching it, are you surprised that we haven't heard more outspoken public officials on this issue? Did you anticipate there would be more of that?
See, I don't really know much about politics. I'm a nurse. And I don't follow that. But I just know that this needs to happen, and anything that I can do and that the representatives and the president can do to make this bill go, that that's what I'm here for.
You know, Chris, meeting Kelly and knowing where she's coming from, it was the same thing for me when I got involved. I knew nothing about politics. I happen to think that's the best politician, by the way. But with that being said, it's because of people like Kelly that came forward, as I did so many years ago, victims to become activists, to add their voice to what needs to be done. And hopefully, and I know that the president is very sympathetic to the victims of the Arizona shooting, and certainly we will keep pressing him.
Congresswoman Carolyn McCarthy, from the Democrat from New York, and Kelly O'Brien, I really appreciate you joining us tonight. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Chris. Appreciate it.